Grey County. This program is brought to you by Rogers Xfinity, connecting you to more of what you love. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Hello and welcome to HealthLink, a program connecting home, community, and healthcare. My name is Carol Merton, and today I am delighted to have two guests to the program, Bonnie Greason, who is the Community Quilts Chair, and Carol Seaman, who is a founding member of the Bluewater Quilters Guild. This is going to be an absolutely fascinating topic because it's the first time I've actually had the Guild on this particular program. So I was just delighted to have you both. Welcome. And certainly you sent me some information ahead of time. But before we get into the details about the Guild, can you tell me a little bit about how long you've been involved? You know, what does founding member mean? Carol, did you want to go first?
I can start, yes. In the spring of 1986, I was teaching a night school course at West Hill, and there were 8 ladies in the course, but 2 of them were especially interested in the quilting projects we did, and they were just small projects, just a Christmas decoration and a small pillow. And those 2 ladies were Sylvia Harvey of Owen Sound and Noreen Smell, who had just moved here with her husband when he retired. They had been in Oakville. So they had got to know each other through their church, and they were interested in starting a Quilters Guild. But they were both in their late 60s, early 70s at the time, and didn't have enough energy to get that off the ground. So they wondered if I was interested. And I just laughed and said, well, what's a quilting guild? Because I didn't know.
Yeah.
And that's where we started. Noreen was a member of the Halton Quilters Guild, and they were a big help to us when we formed, and they helped get our library established. They provided a couple of speakers for free. And the following April in 1987, we started. And the Guild will be 40 years old in 2027. So we've been around for a while.
And you know, I really learned about the Guild when there was a sort of an open house tour of Owen Sound. And you're actually, one of the places you're located is in Owen Sound. And I'm hoping someone will talk more about that. And that was my first experience actually even seeing the Guild and seeing the quilts and learning more. And that prompted this invitation. So, you know, I certainly will be hoping you'll talk more about where people can come and see what sorts of activities happen. So it's been around a while.
Yes.
And how many members are there?
At the moment, we have about 160.
Wow.
We started off the first year with 12, and we've steadily grown. We aren't just in Owen Sound, we're Grey Bruce.
Yeah.
So we have members from Thornbury to Kincardine and Markdale to Tobermory.
And do they meet in different communities then? I only saw the one because I happen to live in Owen Sound.
Right. Well, a lot of our members, we meet once a month on the 3rd Monday of the month at the Bayshore, and we have a meeting there. We usually have a speaker. We talk about our community projects or group projects we want to do. And probably the highlight of a guild meeting is show and share. And everybody brings what they're working on or what they've finished. And it is amazing what people are doing. And that's our one, monthly meeting. But a lot of the girls meet in their own communities throughout the rest of the month.
So for someone who may be listening or watching this program and they go, well, I don't sew very much, or I'm not sure it's for me. Would it be for them?
Of course, it's for them. It's for anybody that's interested in a hobby that's going to bring comfort and decrease stress levels, promote communication with other people. Our meetings at Pauline's Place, which is our studio that is downtown Owen Sound, can be considered really more coffee clutches or tea clutches, as opposed to working sessions. We produce a great number of quilts, and these ladies produce such beautiful work. But we have such fun too. There's probably a lot of laughter and a lot of cookies. And it's just enjoyable. Quilting is such, it's comforting and it's relaxing. And at the end of it, you've got something pretty.
So you not only produce something that's pretty and uses different talents, but you're actually combining that with connection, community connection,
Definitely.
and engagement.
Yeah.
So people who may feel a little lonely or isolated, that would certainly fill a gap.
Exactly. The meetings themselves, because we're usually, the meetings, can be anywhere from 50 to 100 people. We don't always our entire component of membership because of either weather or travel, because we do pull from a very large catch basin. But you have that connection. I've met wonderful people through here. I'm not originally from Owen Sound. And it was very nice to meet a like-minded group of people.
Excellent. So if someone had an interest based on what we're sharing today and they say, you know what, I think I might like to go, how do they do that? Is there someone they need to call? How would they get involved? Carol?
Well, they could go to the website.
Yes. Okay.
Bluewater Quilters Guild.
Okay.
There'll be information there about the upcoming meetings. Now, in the wintertime, we meet by Zoom.
Oh, okay.
We are planning to do that for our November meeting. And then hopefully we can meet in person for our December meeting. And then January, February, and March will all be on Zoom.
Yeah.
So if they check with the website, it will give them the information they need or a contact they can make to get the Zoom address.
Yeah, that magical link.
That's right.
Yeah.
And they can join us that way, or they can just go to Pauline's Place, which is at 769 2nd Avenue East, usually a Tuesday morning till noon, or Thursdays from 9:30 to 1:30. They'll get somebody there in person and they can find out more about the Guild.
Excellent.
We love doing, whoops, I'm sorry. We love doing tours of Pauline's Place.
And we're going to be talking about the community outreach you're doing in a moment, but I do have to say, when I did go to Pauline's Place, there were a few things I noticed right away. First of all, the mood. Everyone was positive, upbeat, engaging, welcoming, and they could hardly wait to show me their work. Like, here, I want to show you this, or look at this, or look. There was a pride, but also just wanting to share what they had been able to do. And it was such a remarkable feeling, even just coming into the place, which really was actually extremely pleasant and very, very welcoming. Community outreach. How did the community outreach start? And what is your community outreach?
Well, the point of community outreach is twofold. It's to provide for the community comfort quilts or activity mats or muffs, which they're like sensory mats for different organizations. It's also to mentor our own group. Everybody teaches. And so constantly sharing what knowledge you've learned, or you went away on a retreat and you learned to use this, or you got a new book and you learned to do that. It's a constant sharing. And again, that provides that social interaction that's so important. The production of the quilts is I think, secondary to that, to the mentorship.
Yeah.
And as Carol teaches a beginner's class, and community outreach sort of envelops that, because many of their members turn to producing quilts that we will send on into community.
So it both benefits the members and benefits the community. Like, that's a win-win. That's a big win-win. Yeah. So the quilting studio. Tell me a little bit more about how it actually came to be, and then the groups of people that receive the quilts and how that was determined. If you can fill me in a little bit about that, please.
Well, a number of years ago, there was a group of ladies from the Guild that met one Thursday a month.
Yeah.
And we met at Pauline McCutcheon's home, and usurped her husband's pool table and stored all our bits and bobs. And Pauline was, I believe, a home economics teacher, Carol? Yes. So she was well-versed in teaching. Her philosophy was there wasn't anything ugly in quilting. Everything was beautiful.
Oh.
And that's kind of a slogan that's caught on. It'll be beautiful. Pauline became sort of our spearhead.
Yeah.
We started then meeting 2 Thursdays a month because we were having fun. By the time we finished, we were meeting every Thursday.
Wow.
Eating soup, having fun, making beautiful quilts. Pauline became ill and could no longer support having us in her home. But she really, really enjoyed being part of the group.
Yeah.
And we started to throw around the idea of, I wonder if there's anywhere that we can go, because most of us didn't have homes that would be big enough to accommodate a large group or the large supplies, because we had boxes and totes full of fabric, because everything is donated to us. The only thing that we purchase is batting.
Oh.
So a few of us got kicking this idea around, and one of our ladies has a sister-in-law that had a storefront rear that she was looking to rent. And she was looking for someone who was going to stay there because she'd been seeing a rapid turnover in clientele. And we said, well, yeah, we can do that. And she named a price, and we thought, oh, that's really good. And we took it back to the executive of the Quilt Guild. It was received in sort of a, do we really need to do this? Do we need to move forward in this direction? And they found over the years that, yes, it was a wonderful move. And we ended up with the entire main floor of that storefront. And our landlord is a tremendous woman who supports us in our activities. And that's how Pauline's Place came about.
Wow.
Now have a workroom that will accommodate 12, a back room that will accommodate a full hand quilter's frame, a luncheon table, and a number of design walls to plaster, as you can see, the little design walls behind me. And then we have a kitchenette with a cutting table raised so that people don't strain themselves. We have a storage room for the quilts that we complete. And we also have a room that has nothing but our fabric that is donated to us. And it looks like a fabric store. Each of the committee members on outreach sort of take something on themselves. And the lady who looks after our storeroom has it in such wonderful shape. So that's Pauline's Place and how it became. So it went from, occasionally meeting, making a few quilts a year, to now meeting every Tuesday and Thursday. And we are producing approximately 200 to 250 quilts a year into community.
Wow. Wow.
These ladies are productive. They're wonderful.
So, Carol, I'm wondering if you can share about the type of people, groups that the quilts would actually go to, and depending on that, are the quilts made differently based on who might receive them?
Well, we make quilts for oncology at the hospital.
Yeah.
If you're there for treatments, you'll get a quilt that we have donated. There are quilts for the neonatal units. So if your baby arrives and it needs to be in an incubator, we have covers for those.
Oh.
We donate baby quilts to the hospital auxiliary and they can sell them. And that makes money for their enterprise there. Bonnie really has a better idea of where they all go, but we do quilts for a number of people. She can probably fill you in better on who gets them, but we all take part.
Excellent. So Bonnie can
take part.
Yeah.
Oncology is a very primary one, as Carol stated. We also will provide for the Pregnancy Crisis Center, any of the associations around town that would benefit from having quilts, baby quilts or lap quilts. We send lap quilts to the nursing and retirement homes, especially in the wintertime around Christmas time. We provide family-sized quilts for Settlement House, who helps with immigration. We will provide victim services with anything that they require. They just need to get in touch with us. Pretty much, and one of our members comes to us and says, there's a family in Tara that lost their home to a fire. All we need is how many people, and here you go. We'll provide you with that. So it's somewhat by association with other charitable groups, and sometimes by association with organizations like Victim Services or Salvation Army or Pregnancy Crisis. And it can also just be an association coming to us like Order of Good Cheer, who does a silent auction every year, and we provide them with a quilt to that. It's any request, really.
Now, I also noticed from the information you provided that also people with dementia, you would people with adults with developmental delay. And I'm wondering, and you mentioned, I forget the phrase, but it made me think of different quilts that have different fabrics or things to touch. Can you talk a bit about what those quilts are for and why? How do they work?
Mats, activity mats, sensory mats, a variety of names for them. They're usually a placemat size mat that has buttons and zippers and Velcro and anything that can be fidgeted with. They're very tactile. We also have a member who makes fidget mats, or muffs rather, which are knitted. Not exactly quilting, but we're into textiles.
Yes.
And she makes these lovely muffs that their hands can stick into, and there are things on the inside, and there are things outside. They're soft and warm, and again, they're tactile. People with developmental delays are often very tactile, very sensory. Definitely Alzheimer's like to fidget with things, and this is a way for them to settle. It's a comfort, and it's calming.
Do you know, in other words, although it's called the Quilters Guild, you've just described the fact that you are not limited to quilts, that it's anything textile based on the needs, which is remarkable. We
have lots of splinter groups that do all sorts of different things. We have an artistic group that do landscape work and collage work. We have an embroidery machine group that makes beautiful things. Carol can probably answer to a bit more of that than me because she does more of the specialty groups than I do.
There's a group that specializes in using up your stash or your scraps.
Yeah.
And every time you do a project, there's leftovers. So we like to come up with blocks that you can make with your leftovers and then put those together. And we come up with a lot of group quilts using your stash.
Yeah.
There's Sew Sisters. They meet by Zoom. Scrapbusters meet by Zoom. Usually it's just an evening where you're working on a project, but you're talking to everybody else that's working on a different project.
Yeah.
And that just kind of keeps people connected between monthly meetings in person. And we have another group, and I can't think what they do off the top of my head.
It'll come to you as we chat along.
Yes,
So
likely.
You pipe up. I smiled when you said about using your stash. My understanding is those who do quilting and a variety of activities as you've described, there's never anything really that doesn't get put to a purpose. You never throw it out for sure. And you can never have too much material.
That's right. That's right.
And even the bits and pieces that aren't usable, little bits of batting, tiny bits of fabric, they go into used pillowcases and they are sewn up and sent to the Humane Society or the animal shelter. So we provide little beds.
Wow. So it's for people and pooches too.
Yeah.
Nothing goes to waste.
Nothing goes to waste.
It sounds as if the guild is continuing, like it started and it's growing, numbers as well as what you produce, but it also sounds as if in itself is becoming much more creative based on the needs or the experiences or what people have learned. Like it's not all the same and it's different interests for different people, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
I think it's because there's so many people that bring a variety of interests to it.
That's right.
And again, it's the mentorship, which is part of our mission, to help bring others into the craft, to help those in the craft grow, and have fun.
Yeah. So
I think the other group you were talking about, Carol, was the hand quilters.
That's it.
there you go. Yeah. Yeah. So as you're describing the activities, I guess I have to wonder, friendships, when you have a shared interest and you meet together, I would imagine friendships grow.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. And when people live in a rural area or they're more isolated or their life circumstances change, those friendships would probably become just as valuable as the quilts they produce.
Oh, yes.
COVID taught us that we didn't have to be isolated.
Yeah.
So, and that at one time, our meetings were always in person, and COVID taught us that we could use Zoom. And the idea of protecting people from traveling in bad weather in the wintertime, made that even better, that we could utilize Zoom to do that. But Zoom, COVID and Zoom taught us that we could take those friendships and we could bring them together, which was and COVID was the birth of these splinter sort of focus groups. And that's just allowed us to grow even more.
So you both have been involved for a while now. Would you mind sharing for yourselves what's been most memorable or what you found enriches you? Because I can't help but smile at you, even though you're on the screen, because it comes from you, the joy that you have with this. So we have about 4 minutes in the program, and would you mind sharing, is there anything specific or anything you'd like to share about the meaning for you personally?
I think
it's not a trick question.
I think when we started almost 40 years ago, we thought we might be active for about 10 years because we figured once we had shared everything we knew and we had a few people in to share what they knew, we'd probably cover about 10 years and that would be it. But at our 10-year anniversary, we had a quilt show at the Bayshore. And it was amazing, the people that came out to see our quilts and how much they shared, how it brought back memories from when they were younger or of their grandmothers or something they started and never finished. And so we have, I think, because we're sharing what we know with other people and getting them interested, it has just bonded everybody with that interest.
Yeah.
And you do make great friends.
Yeah. Bonnie, how about you?
I've been involved with the Guild for a number of years, and I think that the community quilts or outreach quilts attracted me because it was giving back. And again, it was the socialization, because you're not just dealing with the quilters that you work with, but you're dealing with the community. Mm-hmm. And being able to take quilts to Oncology and drop them off, and to see the reaction from the time I unpacked those quilts in the back of my truck into a wagon to haul them into the hospital and through the corridors and up the elevator, the people that you meet and go, what are those for? Where did they come from? What are they, where are you taking them? They want to know more, like, what are you doing? And where do you do this? And why do you do this? That interaction from the community, and to be able to give that back. To do something like the art walk day that you visited us,
Yes.
and be able to show people who have no idea what Pauline's Place is and what the Bluewater Quilters Guild is, to come in and see and go, wow, this looks like fun. We get a lot of, oh, I could never do that. But the beginner's course is proven you can.
Yeah. And it's for all ages, right?
It is.
Right? All ages. It's not necessarily one age grouping or another. It's anyone who has an interest in creating and also giving, it sounds.
Right.
For sure. Yeah. So, very quickly, how can the community support you in the last minute that we've got? Or less? Do you take donations?
Oh, yes. But they can just drop into Pauline's Place and see people there and what they're doing, and then decide what they'd like to do.
Excellent. Well, this has been an absolute delight to speak to both of you. And I must say, having the pleasure of seeing Pauline's Place, it was just so amazing for me. So I do appreciate the fact that you're here and throughout Grey Bruce offering these programs. I want to thank you both for taking the time to be on the program. I also want to thank our viewing and listening audience as well for joining us today for HealthLink. Please take the time to tune in again to learn more about programs and resources available to you and to your family. Take care and stay safe.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to rogerstv.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at rogerstv.com.
Are you a passionate content creator ready to expand your audience reach? Do you have unique stories, captivating hobbies, or special interests that deserve a spotlight? Rogers TV is here to amplify your voice within the community. We offer you the platform to broadcast your content to a wider audience. And the best